Now, if you're someone suffering from a hamstring injury and you're still dealing with that nagging pain behind the back of the leg, then stay tuned, because in this video, I'm going to teach you a step-by-step process on how to get rid of this pain for good. Let's get started. What's going on, guys? It's Dr. Mike, and I'm a physical therapist providing tips on how to build strength and longevity with your body. Now, if you're anybody recovering from any type of hamstring injury, you probably have felt that this injury tends to be very debilitating for people, and maybe you find activities like walking, squatting, or any type of exercise that includes moving your leg tends to be more painful and very sensitive. So today we're going to teach you a step-by-step process of some of the things you can start to do to help recover from this type of injury. Now, the first things first is we want to make sure that we address the soft tissue of the hamstring, especially because you'll probably have some sort of bruising or swelling in that located area. And I am a firm believer of soft tissue mobilization or soft tissue massage. It is a technique just like myofascial release to help get some blood flow in that specific area, to help get some release from any muscle tension that you might be experiencing in the area that you've injured. So depending on how sensitive or how acute this injury may be for you, if you just recently injured yourself, it's probably best to start with maybe using a foam roller for this technique, because using a foam roller is a lot more generalized and it's going to get more of a surface area along the hamstring area. But if you're someone that can tolerate more pain or more discomfort, and maybe someone that can tolerate more massage, maybe if you have experience with this type of technique, you might benefit more from using a lacrosse ball like this. You can even use a tennis ball as well. And this is going to really help locate and localize the area that's the most discomforting for you. So as you can see here, I'm kind of sitting on a box, and this helps me get the best leverage versus on the ground. Then I'm worrying about kind of sitting upright with my posture, and just sitting on a box that's really sturdy on a flat surface allows the equipment here to really kind of get deep into the muscle that we're trying to locate. So essentially, knowing that the hamstring attachment goes across the knee and up behind the leg into the pelvis, you're going to just find a tender spot there, and you can work on just gently shifting your body forward and back. I'm supporting myself with my arms, and I might find a very sensitive area and apply a little bit of pressure, maybe for about 30 seconds or so. And then one of my favorite techniques here is to start working on this hamstring flossing. As I extend my knee out just like so, I'm gonna feel that hamstring muscle stretch. And then as I bring it back, I'm actually gonna feel that muscle kind of shorten just like so. So you can work on this for about 1 to 2 minutes at a time, really allowing your body to kind of sink in onto that small lacrosse or tennis ball to really get some nice pressure relief there. So now that we've addressed the soft tissue behind the knee and to really release any tension in the hamstring, now we can move on working on just getting some nice passive and active range of motion in the knee, which will help improve the length of the hamstring muscle. So here I'm just using a resistance band here, and I'm gonna wrap it around my foot just like so. And when I'm doing this exercise, I'm really not trying to force my leg all the way up into a deep hamstring stretch. I'm just using this as an opportunity to help get some regular range of motion back into my knee and my hip again. Now, the further you bring your knee up into flexion towards your chest, the more you're gonna wind up and stretch this tissue. So you may start off with the knee further away from you, and then as you get better with this and develop more range of motion, you can start to bring your knee closer. So you're gonna be holding that band over the top of the foot just like so, and then you're gonna work on actively extending the knee. If you're not sensitive to this, you can even work on bringing those toes back, which is really going to allow you to feel a nice stretch behind the leg. And you can work on doing some nice slow and controlled movements where you're doing about 10 repetitions at a time. And here you're just focusing on really lengthening the tissue, feeling the stretch back here. It's going to be probably very sensitive with this,
but you can control, and this is why the band's nice, because that resistance against the stretch really allows you to feel nice and protected and allows you to really focus on slow range of motion in a controlled fashion to where your body doesn't feel as threatened. And so people tend to tolerate this exercise quite well, and you can continue to work on that until you can tolerate more of a stretch there. So now as the weeks go by and your hamstring starts to feel a lot better, it's going to be imperative that you start to implement some strengthening exercise to really improve the strength of the hamstrings and to get you feeling more confident with using your legs and doing exercises again. One of the best ways that I like to incorporate some strengthening of the hamstring is by using a double leg bridge and a hamstring curl. Now you're gonna start off with this exercise with both feet onto the ball. And the reason why I like the Bosu ball is because it allows me to dig my heels into the ball to get a nice contraction of the hamstring muscle. Now, if you're just starting off with this exercise and this is new for you, you may consider performing isometric hold maybe for 30 to 45 seconds at a time. And you can do about 4 to 5 reps. And what you'll do is you'll dig your heels into the ground. You can use your hands to support your body, and you're gonna lift those hips straight up towards the ceiling, and immediately you're gonna feel a lot of those hamstring muscles working really hard there, okay? As you start to improve and you get better with this, you'll be able to lift your hips higher, and you'll also be able to really work on more repetitions, maybe 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions at a time. The best part about this exercise is as this gets easier, you can really challenge yourself and level yourself up by including some eccentric and concentric contractions with this hamstring curl. So instead of this being just a regular bridge, now you can start to lengthen the hamstring by stretching your legs out in front and then bringing it up, trying to get your heels all the way back, and you'll feel those hamstrings really starting to lighten up. And this will be one of your favorite ways to help build strength and flexibility in the hamstrings there, okay?
So the last exercise that we're gonna go over is going to allow us to progressively overload the system and help take our hamstring and our bridge exercise that we previously showed you to the next level to start adding some more weight. So this is one of my favorite exercises that I use personally to help really not only improve the strength, but the length and the flexibility in the hamstring. Now I've gone over in detail on this exercise in my previous video, so I'll hit some links up above, but I'm gonna show you once again how to perform the single leg Romanian deadlift. And the reason why I love single leg Romanian deadlift over the double leg, which is traditionally done in any type of strength program, is that the single leg will help you identify weaknesses when it comes to deficits in strength and flexibility from one leg to the other. So I really feel like personally that allows you to really balance out any asymmetries that you might have in the legs. So you're gonna start by kind of being in this staggered stance. And what you're gonna do is, if I'm training my left leg, I'm gonna start with that left leg out in front of me, okay? I personally like to have the dumbbell or kettlebell in the opposite hand because I find that that allows me to keep my pelvis leveled and more balanced, versus if I kept it in this hand, I'm immediately gonna shift my center of mass towards that front leg, and my balance is gonna be thrown off. This is not so much of a focus on balance, but this is more of a focus on really feeling the exercise in the back of the hamstring and in the glutes here, okay? So I'll start off by getting a nice good tripod with my foot there. And what I'm gonna do is that front leg's gonna have a slight bend in the knee, just like so. Keeping my hips squared, I'm gonna allow my hips to kind of reach back and hinge while trying to keep my back straight, and then I'm gonna come back up here, okay? I'll show it to you one more time. Slight bend in the front leg there. I'm holding the dumbbell nice and close to my body, not allowing it to get too far away from me. and I'm gonna focus on hinging at the hip and allowing that back leg to kind of reach behind me as I reach as far as I can go and then back up. And notice when you control the movement, it really allows you to focus on that coordination and that strength in every piece of that motion. Versus going too quick, you kind of lose out on the benefit of showing control through that full range. So when you perform this, you can do 2 to 3 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions at a time, and you will find that this can be a staple to help keep those hamstrings healthy. Now, those are some of my favorite tips to help you recover from a hamstring injury, to help you start living pain-free. If you want more information on how to improve your strength and longevity with your body, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see you in the next one.